years after the home console release of Tekken Tag Tournament, Namco Bandai has finally given us a sequel to the Iron Fist's 2v2 iteration. With fighting games enjoying a resurgence in popularity, the market has been flooded with high-quality fighters in recent years. Not the least of these are Street Fighter X Tekken and Namco Bandai's own Soul Calibur V, both of which came out earlier this year. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 has a lot to prove if it hopes to stand out against the very strong lineup of fighting games already available, not to mention the upcoming releases of Dead or Alive 5 and Injustice: Gods Among Us. To any Tekken aficionados watching, let me apologize. If you can't tell from how poorly I'm playing, I have always been more of a Street Fighter and, gasp, DOA fan. The last Tekken I played was 3, and I never played the first Tag Tournament. Now that I've lost all my street cred with the fighting and possibly gaming community at large, let me tell you why this game's design lets even me get into Tekken in a major way. While series devotees will likely just jump in and start fighting, there are a lot of options here for a novice. The most obvious is a practice mode that allows you to set up how your opponents will behave and try out various combos and strategies against their customized AI. Accessing the command list in this mode will not only tell you all of your selected characters' moves, but will also let you view videos of each one to let you get a handle on proper timing. There is also a Fight Lab mode that presents you with missions to complete that take you through increasingly difficult challenges and teach the basics of Tekken's unique fighting system. This mode features a simple and humorous story that doesn't take itself too seriously and breaks up the tedium of training with some truly zany moments. The requisite arcade mode is here, letting you fight against a string of progressively stronger and more tactical fighters, culminating in 3 boss fights. While fun enough to run through, it's a short mode that left me spending most of my playtime on the final fight. A more enticing mode is Ghost Battle. Here you will fight through an endless series of fighters based on downloadable ghost data, who will get better as you do. It's a great way to hone your skills, and even though you will end up seeing a lot of fighters multiple times, I found it extremely addictive. Add to those the versus, team, and online multiplayer modes, and you have a lot of well-designed options that give you many ways to have fun with this game. Many of these modes will net you credits that can be spent on customizing characters and allow you to make certain your preferred crew will look unique. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 also tracks a multitude of stats, including your win-loss ratios with each fighter, and allows you to compare those with other players around the world. Every feature is polished and well implemented, with some truly inspired elements. One particularly nice touch is the ability to practice moves against a dummy while connecting to online matches. All of this adds up to an overall structure that allows for different ways to play and shifting goals that give you new things to strive for every time you pick up this game. The sound design in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is not trying to impress you. The report of each hit landing home sounds less like actual fists on flesh than it does like playing an electric drum kit. Don't get me wrong, that's not a dig. This is absolutely intentional and a much appreciated choice on Namco's part. Eschewing realism, the sounds of punches and kicks are designed to stick out and emit different tones depending on the strength of the attack and whether or not it was blocked, among other things. This gives you an audible cue to let you know if the combo you're trying is working or falling flat. Character voices are different enough to keep their mid-fight grunts and yells from getting boring, but some of their pre-fight statements can be cringe-inducing.
I'll break your nose in.
Music is peppy and upbeat most of the time, but some levels feature more epic-sounding tracks that lend a sense of weight to your combat.
Fight!
You won't hear anything I'd call exemplary, but what you do hear has been fine-tuned to make you feel like fighting, let you know how fights are going, and give each character some personality. The Tekken series was initially notable for bringing us one of the first true 3D fighting games. Its first few entries carried the same sort of blocky character models of their contemporaries like Virtua Fighter and Battle Arena Toshinden. While each new Tekken has been better looking than the last, its roster of fighters still carries the visual heritage of their thick and exaggerated predecessors. That's not to say they don't look great, most of the time. Undoubtedly, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 shows these combatants at their most detailed, but that only goes for their primary models. The high level of character customization in this game means you'll be seeing a lot of strange iterations of these characters that range from the intimidating to the bizarre. With so many accessories to apply to each fighter, it's all but inevitable that some will not look so great, but that's really a small gripe. Environments are mostly nice to look at, with effects like rain, some nice shadows, and light blooms to enhance them. I'm not a fan of how the water in this game looks, but I do like that your character will begin to glisten after getting wet. Seeing a character roll around in a stage and come up covered in dirt, moisture, or some other substance is just neat. While some levels or accessories may look a little worse than others, everything runs superbly. When in a heated battle, you aren't really going to care that much about the detail level of a bystander or how the bits of your opponent's costume look. The controls in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 are tight, responsive, and deceptively simple. Executing every move is handled with the D-pad or arcade stick and 5 buttons. The first 4 are each assigned to a limb, while the 5th is used to tag in another character. It's a system that's served this series well for years, and definitely makes it feel very different from other fighting games out there. There are over 50 fighters to choose from, and while some of them are pretty similar to one another, there are several fighting styles to master if you want to get any good at this game. One character can have over 100 moves and combos to learn, and each one requires very specific timing. Button mashing is not rewarded at all in Tekken, so it behooves you to train. Battles can sometimes go by very quickly, but there is a lot of room for strategies involving grabs, parries, and tag combos that keep each fight feeling fresh. While not the most accessible fighting game out there, this is perhaps the best technical fighter I have ever played, and after many hours of play, I still feel like I've just scratched the surface of understanding all the nuances of its mechanics. If you're new to the Tekken series and don't want to put in the time to learn the ins and outs of its fighting system, you're probably not going to have a lot of fun with this game. That said, there are a plethora of modes, downloadable ghosts, and a very competent online component here that offer countless hours of content and fun for the dedicated player. It's hard to imagine a better fighting game package, and I personally look forward to every online match because I don't know what I'm going to see next. It could be a simple trouncing, or I might run into a player like And1-1, who has time to plant flowers and play with balloons while making me look even sillier than he does. I mean, look at that!